Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dharmila from Jamia Hamdard, New Delhi. Today we will discuss about pharmaceutical validation part 1. The paper is pharmaceutical validation part 1. Learning objective of this module are to obtain the knowledge about validation and importance of validation, documentation associated with validation and the approaches used for validation. Pharmaceutical validation. Validation is an essential and integral part of pharmaceutical industry to produce the products of desired quality consistently and economically. It is required for compliance to national or international regulation. It is important requirement of a quality system to maintain the consistency of quality product in all the stages. US FDA defines validation as the establishing of documented evidence which provides a high degree of assurance that a planned process will consistently perform according to the intended specified outcomes. It is the documented act of demonstrating that the procedure, process or the activity will consistently lead to the expected results. The quality of a product can be assured by controlling the important factors responsible for its integrity. For example, the selection of raw materials as they directly constitute the quality of the product. Design of the process, it affects the final product, and in process and end product testing to control the process statistically. Thus, a high level of acceptability of a given batch or the subsequent batches that meet predefined specifications can be established by qualification and validation of the process and its control system. Qualification is a part, that is initial stage of validation. The term is used for equipment, utilities and validation of processes. It is documented proof which ensures that a particular system or equipment is installed properly and will give expected results. Qualification should be completed before performing the process validation. The goal of the validation is to ensure that quality is built into the system at every step and not just tested at the end. As such, validation activities will commonly include training on production material and operating procedures, training of people involved and monitoring of the system while it is in production. In general, an entire process is validated and a particular object within that process is verified. The regulations also set out an expectation that the different parts of the production process are well defined and controlled, such that the results of the production will not substantially change over the time. Moving on to the need and importance of the validation. If validation is done efficiently, the number of samples taken to be tested and the testing procedures decreases effectively, which leads to the decreased number of product rejections and lesser retesting. It acts as a cost saving process. Apart from economical quality assurance, validation is important for following reasons. It helps in obtaining minimum batch failures. Efficacy and productivity can be increased with the help of validation. It helps in optimization of the process. Capital expenditure can be reduced. Number of batches rejected can be reduced. Output can be increased. Deviations caused in the process can be investigated. In-process testing and testing of finished products can be reduced. Setup and startup of new equipment can be done more rapidly and reliably. Equipment can be maintained more easily. Automation can be done more rapidly. Failures due to process can be minimized. Validation is necessary to obtain approval to manufacture and to introduce new products. Regulatory considerations for validation. According to the legal authorities, the manufacturing, processing, packaging or methods operated in the production or analysis of a product should be in conformity with current GMP. It must be assured that the product meets the identity, strength, quality and the purity that it claims to possess. Regulatory bodies have the authority to inspect and evaluate the validation performed by the drug manufacturers. The CGMP regulations of US FDA for validating pharmaceutical manufacturing, especially drug manufacturing, required that the drug product should be produced with a high degree of assurance that they meet all the intended attributes they are supposed to possess. Effective process validation contributes significantly to assuring the drug quality. The current good manufacturing practices is based on the assumptions that the quality, safety and the efficacy are designed or built into the product, and each step of the manufacturing process must be controlled to ensure that the product produced by using the adopted process will deliver the products which meet the predefined specification consistently. The performance of validation activities ensure that the above goals are met. Documents associated with the validation. Following documents are required for validation: validation master plan, standard operating procedures, quality manual, specifications, validation and qualification protocols, validation and qualification reports. The first document is validation master plan. It is basically a summary of overall strategy for the validation of equipment, utilities, processes, systems or procedures along with the supporting rationale. It comprises the overview of the validation process, which includes perspective, concurrent, retrospective and revalidations with its structure and planning. The documented information cannot be repeated, but the references of existing document can be mentioned. For example, policy documents, SOPs and validation protocols or reports. It provides the demonstration of the process or equipment that it performs as per the design and give intended results. It envisions the organization's commitment to GMP. Separate validation master plan can be created in case of large projects. It is a policy document which enlists the various aspects of validation such as why, what, where, by whom, how and when. This document describes the overall validation program with schedule and responsibilities of individual in performing the validation task. It serves as a guide to the validation team, steering committee and personnel who are responsible for implementing the validation protocols. It acts as a source document to identify tasks and responsibility and should assist regulatory inspectors to understand the manufacturer's approach to validation and how the validation activities are organized and managed. It helps management to know what the validation program involves with respect to time, people and money, and to understand the necessity of the program. A validation master plan should generally consist the following information: description of validation policy, operation, location and schedule of the firm, the organizational structure of all validation activities including protocol, reports of every stage, personnel, responsibility, description of process and facilities, a rationale for validation and its approach including the rationale for process not validated, and any challenge including the worst case and the purpose of validating worst case, specific considerations of every process that is critical for quality product yield, list of all products, processes, systems to be validated, acceptance criteria for all the products, processes and the systems to be validated, formats for documentation of protocols and reports should be described, a list of standard operating procedures required should be mentioned, plan and schedule should be mentioned, statement for controlling critical changes of material, facilities, equipment or processes, computer system validation, additional CGMP programs and references. Standard operating procedures. A standard operating procedure is a set of written stepwise instructions prepared to efficiently perform the operations to ensure consistency and quality of the product. All the required standard operating procedures should be prepared before starting the validation activity. These should be accessible to the personnel performing the operation. SOPs should be brief and in forward flow. A standard operating procedure should consist the following information: objective, mentioning the purpose for which the SOP is prepared; scope, stating the option which can be obtained from the SOP; responsibility, indicating the personnel who are responsible for carrying out the procedure and who keeps a check on it; accountability, mentioning the personnel answerable for accountability of the SOP; frequency, it should state that how often the procedure is carried out or at what frequency instrument is used; procedure, mentioning the points stepwise how the procedure will be performed; precautions, state if anything specific is to be taken care of; cleaning instructions, Specify how to clean the instrument after use so that it is in ready state for next time use. Abbreviations, if any abbreviation is used. Quality manual. Quality manual is documented quality policy and description of quality control system that include procedures, systems and resources related to the production of high quality products. It includes the list of what should be included and what should not be included in the quality system and why, with the references for quality procedures used. It contains the quality policies which show the strict commitment to the quality maintenance. Scope of pharmaceutical quality system, identification of the pharmaceutical quality system processes as well as their sequences, linkages and interdependencies and management responsibilities within the pharmaceutical quality system. It is used to communicate quality expectations of the product. It helps to design the processes for quality management. A quality manual generally includes the following information: introduction, which provides the information about the quality management system; purpose, establishing the policies for QMS to assure the quality; scope, stating the area of applicability of the manual and exclusions for which it is not applicable; procedures, documented in detail; interaction between the procedures of quality management system; structure of the documents used in quality management system; references for procedures. Specifications. The acceptance criteria for each testing to be available along with a reference to standard test procedure to be followed for performing the test. Specification of the processes and methods is mentioned. For the equipment, running time and specific handling instructions are needed to be stated. The next documents used for validation is the validation and qualification protocols. This protocol describes the details pertaining to the validation for which the protocol is meant for. It lists all the details such as objective of the validation and qualification study, site of the study, description of process, equipment, procedure to be followed, individual responsibilities, etc. The process or parameters to be validated should be clearly identified. The acceptance criteria to be predefined in the protocol. Each protocol needs to be numbered and adequate documentation control is to be ensured. Further, the protocol needs to be approved by the responsible personnel. This approved protocol is prerequisite to start the validation activity. Validation protocol will be identified and approved in the standard operating procedure. Protocols and change control documents will be drafted and approved prior to the execution. Execution of tasks associated with one qualification phase must be completed prior to initiating the task in the next phase, except that reviews and approvals are not required to be completed before initiating the next qualification phase. Where one protocol execution follows another protocol execution, for example IQ followed by OQ followed by PQ. It is not necessary to execute post protocol approval prior to executing the subsequent protocol. However, the responsible individual assigned for this will be responsible for monitoring and assessing any open issues and providing documented approval to proceed to subsequent protocol. Protocol deviations will be documented within each protocol and reviewed and approved by the responsible individual assigned for this and quality assurance. Task reports will be prepared to summarize the objectives and results of each qualification phase. A validation protocol generally consists of the following information. Protocol approval. It is the proof that protocol is reviewed and approved by responsible personnel. Objective. The purpose of the validation protocol is written. Scope. State the area of applicability of the validation protocol. Reason for validation. Mention why the validation is being done. Revalidation criteria. It states the conditions where it can be revalidated. Responsibilities. Define the departments with their subsequent responsibilities. Reference documents. Include the documents required for validation activity. Procedure. Written instruction and guidelines on how the procedure will be done. Deviations. Mention any variation from the written procedure that occurred during the validation. Conclusion. Indicate if validation passes or fails according to the results obtained. Report. includes the raw data compiled and checked by the qualified personnel. Report approval, stating that the validation completed successfully in accordance with the protocol. Validation and qualification reports. Once validation or qualification is performed as per approved protocol, the report will be generated. The report needs to be approved by the concerned responsible officials and should bear a report number. All the results and summary conclusion of the validation activity will be listed in the report. Proposed validated parameters as applicable to commercial manufacturing are recommended to be included in the report. It consists the recommendation for fixing errors and or improving overall quality of the process. As soon as the protocol completes, report is prepared in the timely manner. The report generally contains statement mentioning who created it and why, summary of all the results of the validation, steps of validation and methodology used to obtain the results. Long lists can be placed into the appendix. Description of techniques for manual validation along with the results, repairable and non-repairable errors, discussion on all the protocol aspects, summary and analysis of protocol specified data, summary and discussion of all non-conformities, detailed description of corrective actions or changes to be made in the procedures or controls for improvement of quality, explicit conclusions stating if the conditions are established as mentioned in protocol or not, appendix and references. Approaches for validation. There are basically two approaches for validation, namely experimental approach and historical approach. Experimental approach is followed by both prospective and concurrent validations, and it involves the extensive sampling and testing. Also, simulation of the process and worst case and challenge studies are performed in this approach. On contrary, historical approach, also known as retrospective validation, refers to the evaluation of data generated over a period of time, that is historic data, and do not involve any testing. This approach is basically used for trend analysis and for observing the process performance over a period of time. However, the historical approach is not applicable for sterile product manufacturing. There are four options for process validation: prospective process validation, retrospective process validation, concurrent validation and revalidation. Prospective process validation. Process validation is a documented proof that assures that a specific process will consistently provide quality characteristics of a product which meet the predetermined specification of the product. Prospective validation is required to carefully and logically design the program for product or process development. To complete the validation successfully, organization is needed along with the planned program to carry out the process. The responsibility and authority should be clearly mentioned in the organization to meet the validation objective. Project management structure is established in order to control the plan and execution of the program. In order to perform prospective validation program effectively, following points should be explained in detail: master document, product development, development of manufacturing capabilities, full-scale development of product or process, experimental program discussion, experimental design and analysis. First point is master document. Master document is the set of documents supporting the prospective validation from initiation of the product to the full-scale production. It gives the product history as detailed as possible. The final document is compiled work of all the individual groups of the organization. It can be referred for the rationale of any step of the process or testing or the final product. The master document consists the following: procedures to carry out during validation, protocols to be followed, reports or cross references, specifications mentioned for procedures, analytical methods to be followed, documents concerned with the formulation or method development. All the information generated during the entire process of the product development to validation should be mentioned in the master documentation file. The next point to be explained in detail is product development. Process development can be done simultaneously as well as after the formulation development. The major process developmental activities are done in the pilot plant or proposed manufacturing plant. The program of process development should fulfill the following objectives: process development for the production of the product that complies with product specifications and economic constraints. The product should meet the current manufacturing practices. Identification of the process parameters affecting the attributes of the product, identification of in-process specification and test methods, identification of specific equipment required in case of pilot plant or proposed manufacturing plant. The verification test methods for cleaning must be complete or at least be in the final stage of the development. The following stages can be followed in the process development. Process design, it includes the preparation of flow diagram and influence matrix, establishing experimental procedure and design criteria, preparation of study plan and protocols. Next is process parameter challenging, which includes the identification of critical variables for the process and establishing maximum tolerance for process variables. Next is process characterization, which includes modification of study plan and protocol, establishing the nominal values and tolerances of critical variables. Next is process verification, which include the modification of study plan and protocol along with determination of the product variability, finalization of the product specification. Last is documentation development, which include the full description of process challenging and characterization reports, development, batch record, test methods for raw materials and specification with variable tolerances, etc. Next point to be explained in detail is development of manufacturing capability. The developed process should be provided the suitable production facility for manufacturing, which includes the building, equipment, staff and supporting functions. With the progression of developmental activities, the process can be defined more clearly. So, the capability of manufacturing product can be assessed in parallel. Manufacturing capability can be altered by utilization or modification of existing facilities or by establishing new facilities as per requirement. Next point to be discussed in detail is full scale development of product or process. Full scale development can be done by following steps. First step is scale up studies, which include the careful planning and implementation, qualification on both small as well as large scale equipment, process characterization and verification, producing specific limits for defined ranges of process parameters. Second is qualification trial, manufacturing of a batch or more at full scale to assure that the manufacturing process can be carried out successfully. This can be done according to the filing strategy before or after the regulatory submission. Third is the process validation runs. Writing the full scale process validation, validating protocol should contain the following: safety instructions, raw materials with acceptance limit, pertinent characteristic, analytical methods, handling precautions, packaging and storage, equipments for operation, description and cleaning, environmental restrictions, for example, liquid or gas discharge limitations and scrap or solid disposal instructions, critical parameters and associated means to control the parameters, process flow chart, responsibilities of each of the groups participating, master batch components, that should be by percentage by weight, production batch component by weight, cleaning validation or verification requirements, process batch record with sequences of process instructions and material usage, formulation, definition of validation criteria including acceptable variation, lower and upper limits of acceptance, cleaning sampling plan with number and types of sample and location, product testing, in process testing and acceptance criteria, finished product testing and acceptance criteria, and test methods references should be included in the product testing. Validation sampling and testing with in process and finished product. At least 3 batches should be validated for sufficient data collection. Next is master product document. The document providing information mandatory to set up the process for consistent product manufacturing meeting the specification. Detailed information making the master product document independent generally includes process flow diagram, master formulation, batch manufacturing record, master manufacturing instructions, specification sampling, location and frequency, master packaging instructions, process validation data and test methods. Experimental program discussion. Effectiveness of the program developed can be increased by focusing on techniques. Experiments used to develop the program are examined to justify the development of the process, formulation and specifications. Experiments are designed using logical and systemic approach. Each program of the experiment can be split into various stages for ease in performance. Subsequently, results from each stage are combined to define the experimental program. Scope of the program and process summary should be discussed among the individuals who are associated with the program. First, program scope, and second is program summary. In program scope, the objective of the experimental program is mandatory to mention. If the same technology is used for different products, the objectives can be similar too. Objectives can be called continuing activity for products using leading technology. The impact and effect of budget, time and resources can be included in experimental program at early stage to circumvent the compromises on critical objective of the program. Program summary. Summarizing to provide the clear understanding can be done using following techniques: flow diagrams, variable and responses, cause and effect diagram, influence matrix. Experimental design and analysis. Different kinds of designs can be used to obtain different levels of complexity, efficiency and effectiveness to achieve certain experimental objectives. Things that should be considered while selecting a suitable experimental design and analysis are following. First is type of design. No specific design will be suitable always for general use. So, careful selection should be mentioned the following things: available resources, specific objectives, relevant variables and responses, availability of the previous theoretical results, cost of experimentation, qualification and experience of research team members. Second is data analysis. The data should be analyzed as per the required results from the experiment. Third is experiment documentation. Documentation generally consists of objectives, proposed or alternate test methods, experimental design, equipment, procedures, protocol, sampling plans, data records and reports. The last thing is program organization. Project leader or manager is required for effective communication in the development program. Next type of validation is retrospective validation. While considering the retrospective validation, following points should be explained properly. First, selection criteria of the product. Second, written standard operating procedures. Third, selection, processing and evaluation of data. Fourth, computer aided analysis of data. Fifth is to set the product alert limits using validation experience. Sixth is reliability of the validation process. Steps to be followed during retrospective validation include choosing a critical quality parameter, for example, assay value, unit dose uniformity, disintegration time, dissolution, etc. Extracting the analytical results from each batch, pooling the results from batches, calculating the grand average, that is process average, and control limits, plotting the result on graphs or charts. All difficulties encountered during the processing of batches and failures needs to be analyzed carefully to come to a meaningful conclusion. The process may be considered reliable if the plotted data are within the control limits and the variability of individual results is stable or tends to decrease. Where the existing data is inadequate, additional tests should be performed. Third type of validation is concurrent process validation. Concurrent validation is in-process validation. This involves the close monitoring of critical parameters during the normal production run. It provides the documented evidence that the manufacturing process is in a state of control. It is carried out on batches intended for commercial distribution. The success of concurrent validation generally depends on the extent of process knowledge gained during the prospective validation. The control of all critical process parameters, the result of the in-process controls, final controls and the stability tests should prove the suitability of the important individual steps of the procedure. Test parameters and data sources from the retrospective validation can provide the validation documentation. Test parameters should be selected according to the critical process variables to be evaluated. Fourth type of validation is revalidation. Revalidation is the process ensuring the consistency of the quality of the product or characteristics of the process when the process or the environment of the process is changed intentionally or unintentionally. Revalidation can be of two types. First is scheduled periodic revalidation. Revalidation for identification of changes that may occur over a period of time. For example, if there is any change in calibration method, master formula or any specification or standard operating procedure, then they should be considered for revalidation. Second type is revalidation done after any change that affects the product quality. Revalidation is required in the following conditions of change. If critical component needs to be changed, for example raw material, if a critical piece of modular equipment needs to be changed or replaced, if change in quality and or plant is required, if size of batch increases or decreases significantly, if batches fail in sequence to meet the process and product specifications, if any change is required that may affect the efficacy or quality of the product, if there is any change in packaging material, if the change in the process is required, if the product characteristics are found to be changed. Sometimes it is necessary to perform the requalification before going to revalidation. So, concluding this module, as per the outcome of the module, we learnt about the validation importance to produce the cost effective quality drugs as per regulatory requirements. Documentation for validation should be carefully prepared to assure the quality, and the approach for validation should be selected carefully. The classification of the validation will be studied in the next module. Thank you.